Please don't air any of this, Brad.
All right, we ready? You hitting it? Tell me when we're rolling. So we've been rolling. God damn.
We're Googling over here.
All right.
To nerd sports now, people.
Exactly.
Look out. Do you fear death?
Oh, one of the greatest lines of all time.
I've got a job to it. I've got a job to it.
Kind of like whistles at her, and Dad looks over and the guy's going. And Dad's like, I got the fuck out of there. I was like, oh man, you didn't partake? I thought that was part of the mountain biking community, that y'all just went out there and had sex together in your tight shorts. But
Angrily making me 30 sides of red sauce. He just hangs it back up.
So that's what I was doing wrong the first time.
that's what you were doing wrong.
Big Pharma's turning the frogs gay, and it's coming after your kids.
And they're going to make them incredibly happy.
Infowars.com.
Listened to so much. Are you
Here, throw him in there. Throw him in there. There we go. That's a nice safe spot for him.
Goddamn safe now.
I didn't plan ahead, so I only had this is the last little bit I got. It's shush y'all.
There's beer, plenty if
Bush
you want.
light.
There's also a bed in here if you need to get a nap.
So you did the 200. You did the shot put in the discus.
Shot. I wasn't as good at discus, but I was pretty damn good at shot.
You were damn good at shot.
I didn't even, when we went, the funny thing is I didn't go to state because it was the same time as prom. It was the same night, so I just didn't fucking go.
Is that right?
You know what?
Why would they do that?
Good on you.
I just didn't go. I was like, well, and two, all I could think about was okay, I'm fucking good here. Go down to Little Rock whenever there's fucking black dudes 3 times my size, just
oh, that was what happened with our...
I can't compete with that.
So you got scared.
No, I just went to prom. Got fucked up.
I never went to prom. I went to Memphis in May instead of prom.
Man. Oh, wow.
What a fucking hipster you are.
You steal it in biscuit?
You know, I made fun of the hipster culture, but I have a lot of people that I feel like they're hipsters. Me? Way too old. I graduated in 97.
Oh, you're just 3 years older than us.
Just 3 years. Just a whole fucking high school experience.
Think age matters once you get I feel like every year I get older now, I'm almost twice as wiser as the year before. I feel like I'm so much more
dumber.
Really?
I mean, I know what you mean, but just...
I think that it's the same box. There's the sand gets sloped one way or the other. You know what I'm saying?
Think so?
I agree more with that.
I don't know. It's weird because my sister's 9.5 years older than me, and my little brother is 14 years younger than me.
Jesus.
That's a gap, dude.
I know. But
yeah, I know you know.
I try to relate. I try to relate to both of them, and I think hopefully it's enabled me to talk to a broad variety of people.
Sure, yeah.
Which I think is a lost art.
Man down. Yes, I agree.
Because a lot of people, you meet your grandparents and I was a sibling of 12 children, and we was ranging between 12 and 1. So there's 12 years difference between the entire gambit of this entire sibling population, right? I don't know. I went to dinner with people that were probably my little brother's age the other night, related to him just fine, whatever. And then I would say a couple weeks ago, I went to people who were my exact age, and we were fine. Out and about drinking beer or whatever. It's weird, but I feel like I do an okay job of relating to everybody.
How the person you are instead of actually what time that you grew up. I think just how you're either person
you're somebody's gonna get involved or you're not. I know so many dads who have nothing to do with their kids. The kid is just like a trophy or something. It's I have this thing, but it's an inconvenience. but dads who spend time with their kids, and like I know what YouTube videos my kids are watching because I watch it with them.
It's weird. I know people that, they had sons, and thank God they did. Because I had a daughter, and I know that if they had a daughter, they'd probably be like, eh. Like they wouldn't have...
The same amount of respect.
I probably wouldn't be as involved. Unless, and I know this sounds
what if she
bad,
was in sports, though?
Yeah, and if she, unless she was like into softball and things like that. I know that kind of sounds sad.
But there are dads who can't relate to their sons because they don't have a commonality. Right. I think it doesn't matter the gender. I think it matters the commonality. Right. Like me and my dad had very different interests, and like he was a big mountain biker. That's the famous story we've told.
Yes.
But like I hated mountain biking, so I went in a different direction. But my youngest son loves mountain biking, and so he's always like, "When can I go with Grandpa?" And so now they have that thing, which is awesome. And I'm grateful for that. But like, I think it's a matter of being on that same frequency with whatever it is.
I had tea parties, Brad. That's what I was trying to get to.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, it's because I love my daughter. But I had I had like tea parties.
Awesome.
I had weird. I don't know. We just
but
did
you adapted to what your
we did stuff
was.
different. Yeah.
But you were a good dad. Like that's awesome that you did.
I mean, I tried.
I think you
right?
But you were engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
That's key.
Yeah.
That's key.
You were always somebody who was very proud of your child. And
well, I have a picture of her when she's like 3 years old with aviators on, a fake mustache, and she's like doing this with a puffy jacket in front of chainsaws. Yeah. So it wasn't always just like a type thing. She's very much a tomboy.
But I feel like
if you're not proud though of your kid, I mean, what
Yeah, that's true.
But I feel like when we were growing up, we had a very different relationship with our parents than we do with our kids.
Yeah.
Like I feel like our parents were a little, and maybe yours were different, but mine were pretty close to the vest.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that it was just that.
It was the day and time.
Yeah.
Because their parents never spoke about anything.
Right.
You didn't speak unless you were spoken to. And now I feel like my kids are, like, you don't want to become friends with your kids, right? Because then you lose that parental thing. But, like, I feel like I'm close with my kids.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We were in Cancun. Well, she's fully cooked, though. So it's a different scenario.
It's a different scenario.
She was...
But she's how old now?
I think she was 19 at the time.
Yeah,
she's going to turn 21
right.
soon. But we were in Cancun. She was legal to drink, and they're like... We're both getting lit together on the beach. Like, it's whatever.
Yeah, see, that terrifies me.
And...
No. I would not want to drink with my kids for fear of them becoming what I am. Completely dependent.
Yeah, that's a different life scenario, though.
You're not an alcoholic, though.
I'm not.
You're having fun.
I grew up around alcoholics, like, my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, grandfather was an alcoholic. Like, my stepdad was an alcoholic. Like, the entire time that we were like, my entire life. That he entered it, he was an alcoholic, not in a bad way, but he was definitely
dependent.
He died of cirrhosis of the liver and complications.
Wait, hold on. What was he? He wasn't drinking Natty Light, was he?
Yeah, he was drinking tons of Natty Light all the time.
Jesus.
Tons.
Nobody drinks that shit.
It says the guy who's drinking Bush Light, like he's a fucking moral high ground.
He's right. I actually think that he was a light guy.
No, the corn cob does win the argument.
Fuck yeah.
I remember.
It's for the farmers.
Was it last time you came over here that you were like the corn cans?
Possibly.
Was it then?
I mean,
because I
hate corn.
Bush Light or Bush.
They do different shit.
They'd have the fucking orange. Well, shit, I've still got. See the bathroom door up there? I got all the different. That's like 5 years of the hunting cam.
Oh man, I've got some ones I can give you.
Jason's like, I can't believe the amount of white trash I'm around right now.
No, my entire family's been white trash for the entire time. It's fine.
It's fine. I'll tolerate you.
but to bring it back around, like
Yeah. He's drinking
we-
cliches.
we
Remember that?
it's Milar.
Tell me one of them
It's-
cliches, motherfucker. Anyway,
We
different time.
to bring it back. I told her, "You're my best friend."
Oh,
like
no.
in a whole
Oh no.
drunk moment.
Yeah.
But we really are. Like, she's my mini me. She's always been like my ride or die as
No,
far as
she-
like that whole thing goes. But it's healthy in a way, in that way, because
Yeah.
she knows if she needs to call somebody, anybody, she can call me.
But she respects you, and you are a father to her, and that is special if you're close.
Right.
I feel like that with my oldest. Like
We-
I feel like
I had to be
very-
the dad.
But you still have.
But she's cooked. But now she's cooked, and like, I can be like, I taught you all the lessons,
Yeah.
you know, for the most part, and then you're gonna be your own person, which is an awesome person, and I will go in that journey with you.
Do you feel like you did a good job, or that you got lucky?
Both. You can't say that you're a great parent whenever she because of, I mean, I guess genetics, her biology, whatever, but she slept 6.5 hours 2.5 weeks in. So like I never like had to be up at all hours of the night. Like she was never colicky, she never had like diarrhea, like that whole like first 6 to 8 months of hell that people go through. I never went through that. She was the only kid that we had, and we treated her like a redhead stepchild. Like, we never boiled any of her nipples. We never, like, if we dropped on the floor, we'd be like, here, it's good. Or it's like we wipe it off. We never were like...
You weren't a helicopter.
Never.
Well,
Ever
what's
helicopter.
interesting is that most helicopter parents I see are first child parents. Like they do it with their first one, but you didn't. Why? Like
Why?
Well, yeah, like that's a lot of people's instincts. Is I need to go through and protect them.
That's a good question that you ask, and I will give you the answer.
Thank you so much for answering the question.
So, I think it's basically because the age gap between my sister and me. She had a kid.
Remind me
It's 9.5. It's almost 10 years.
She's older.
Yeah, she's almost 10 years older than me.
And your brother's 14 years younger.
And 14 years younger.
Yeah, okay.
And so, in a way,
That's wild, yeah.
the first diapers I ever changed were my eldest nephew. And so, and I think this is also, you lose it in a multi-generational home. But...
Lose what?
Child rearing. Like, the first diapers I ever changed was my eldest nephew's diaper, and that's because she was like in the same home as everyone else. Like we all, once he was born,
it was communal.
It was communal in the way that we all.
Fucking communist.
I know, right? This is the second time this shit's come up.
Last pod we got into that.
But I feel like by the time I got to her, because at that point, 2003, I don't know. I feel like they're almost like my daughter and my little brother are almost the exact same distance of time as me and my little brother. And so on some level I had an older sibling, they've had a younger child, they were in the same household, I've helped do whatever with that younger child, right? And then seeing all the parenting that went on with that. And then by the time that I get to the point where my stepmom ended up having my brother, I've been through like multiple cycles, because honestly my sister has 3 kids and they were like meh, meh, meh. Like she spaced them out well, I guess, but she was always having them.
Better than 9 and 14 years.
But it was I think by the time long story short, I think by the time I got to Megan that I'd already like fucking done a bunch of this stuff. Like there's tons that I didn't do, right? But I think the mentality was we'd already gone to the forks and the outlet stage. Like it doesn't matter what you put on the cabinet. They're still gonna fucking bash their fingers in the cabinet.
You already understood what it was like because you experienced
Yeah.
it. So you were just not, because most of us, when we had our first kid, didn't have that experience. So we got to protect this from everything. And it wasn't even you. It was like your parents.
Just
And
cut
that
out
makes
the
you
last
get-
15 minutes, and because you just gave like the concise answer,
Yeah.
and then you got
And
there.
everything you set out.
Yeah. Why not? It was
I
just
absolutely
I had been through that whole thing, and so
Yeah. Well, that's a great explanation for it because you'd already lived it.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, it wasn't even so much me and Julia's decision as it was like parents and people. You got to get this for the outlets, and you got to get this, and you got to lock the cabinets. It's like, oh my God, a baby can die from anything. And then after the first baby, like, gets it, drinks a gallon of gasoline, you're like, okay, he's fine.
If God kills 75% of the babies, sorry, he does. Only 25% of all births are relevant. And then out of those, like, I think another 25% survive.
Are you speaking to the camera?
I am, because
You're
there's
talking
people
about
out
yourself in
there.
third person.
Because there's people out there that are like,
You got a really big
oh my
glare.
God. Oh my God.
Can you really
I know.
It's
Blurry.
I feel like it was one of those evangelistic.
Like,
I
John
know.
Cena. I'm like,
You should sit on Jason's
can't see
lap
me.
for the rest of the pod. We'll put behind a paywall.
Bush lattes.
OnlyFans. That's what he's doing.
ow!
Oh, fucked his knee up.
Yeah, that's better.
I can't run or squat anymore. So, I don't even remember what I was saying.
Well, we were talking about what's that show
Everybody's going down the line. I got nobody else to look at.
We're all like, what was that show? Oh my God! Because there's a whole library of stuff over here.
Yes.
what is that show that was
It's Touched by an Angel.
Right.
You have like
No,
all
no,
5
no,
seasons
no,
of it
no.
over there.
I do
No,
not.
no, no. I'm talking
What are you
about
talking about?
Danny McBride and they do and
Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
Oh my
Righteous
God.
Gemstones.
I love that
I've
shit.
never actually seen an episode of that.
Holy
Is that-
Baby Billy's Bobble Bunkers.
yes, Baby Billy's the shit. I don't make a dime.
I don't make a dime off this. I don't make a dime. The only thing that this does,
After all the scientists and
all the R&Ds. Oh man,
that shit is hilarious.
It's
I'm
great.
having a shared memory. I
You've
gotta
gotta-
watch this show. I
you've
gotta check
gotta
this
see
out.
that shit.
What's it called again?
Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous
You should
Gemstones.
definitely
I've
watch
heard
it.
of it. That's
It's
Danny
fucking-
McBride.
yeah.
3 seasons
That's not
out.
that's not the one with the baseball player.
No, that's
What was that?
Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down. That shit's fucking funny.
He also had one that was called Vice Principals, which is pretty good too.
What's that movie he did? Oh man, I can't remember.
Danny
It
McBride.
was terrible. Yeah, Kung Fu.
Kung
Like-
Fu?
Yes. Yeah. What the fuck is
He
that?
came out a little after my day. Like he kind of like when I was.
Is it not? It's not Kung Fu Hustle, is it?
No.
Kung Fu Hustle is one of the best fucking movies that you'll ever watch. Just because it's so stupid.
Who's in it?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Like, there's
So-
nobody in it.
Are you aware that they're showing the Lord of the Rings in extended form?
Yeah, we missed
This
it
weekend.
today.
Well,
It was
we
the.
didn't
We
miss
missed it. They're doing all 3 of them,
I
and it's
know.
once a week. We fucking missed it.
We
Foot
didn't
fist
miss
way.
it. We chose not to spend 12 hours in the theater.
You know, I've done that. Like, not at the theater, but I have watched the extended cut
Who was it still?
from start to finish.
The Foot Fist Way.
The Foot
The
Fist
Foot
Way.
Fist Way.
That was it.
It was silly. It's just it's shit.
You know, with bathroom breaks and snack breaks and whatever, and like no real meals in between. Like you're only doing bathroom breaks and snack breaks, right? And it still took like 10.5 hours to get through the whole fucking Lord of the Rings extended cut. I'm like, what?
No way you got through that in 10.5 hours.
It is. I saw the
I
Fury.
mean, I think it took longer than that.
No, it was
You
that.
have done that quick? Because that's pretty straight.
It's
through.
369. That allows for an hour and a half worth of bathroom breaks and snack breaks.
I thought the movies in total were almost 12 hours. The extended versions, no?
They're like 3 hours each.
Is it
extended.
3? Maybe I was thinking they were 4. The Return of the King is almost.
Max, Google it. Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah, he's gone. He did a good job tonight.
He did a great job. It was awesome.
I taught him that like literally right before everyone arrived. I was like, hey, do this.
And that's the difference between generations.
What do you mean?
He was like, okay, I got it.
Oh, he
Done.
nailed it. And I compliment. This is my son, so he's leaving, and I go, "Hey, you did a
Which
great."
is even more surprising. Like,
Yeah.
gotta be Julia jeans or something.
I mean, really,
God.
she is actually really smart, except for marrying Brad. But I mean, other than
Terrible
that, like,
judge of character.
terrible judge of character,
Other than
super
that,
duper smart,
Fucking smart.
great genetics.
Yeah.
If she would initiate sex once in a while, I'd be nicer. So that's a...
Does she watch your pods?
It was a joke. Edit that out. Fuck,
He's
you
got
real.
he wouldn't fuck him. There ain't no way.
Yeah. Would
Well, he
you? Would
would.
you fuck you?
He'd fuck anybody.
Of course.
It depends on how much red sauce was in the room.
I was gonna say Brad's narcissistic enough that he would fuck himself.
I'm a narcissistic introvert.
Absolutely.
Isn't that a weird combo?
It is. It's always been the most intriguing thing that, like, it's been a draw.
I know.
Honestly,
we both
It's
intrigue
it's
each
a
other.
draw.
It works. We
a
don't
draw.
understand, but
Yeah.
we're trying to figure it out.
Extrovert,
I
introvert,
know.
but we have a lot of the same flavors.
Yeah, frequencies. It's a weird deal.
Yeah.
It's getting uncomfortable now because I'm getting aroused. So anyway, Max is leaving. I said, "You did a really great job producing tonight." And he goes, "Yeah, it was easy." It's like, well, all right. Yeah, even though
Yeah.
still did a good job.
He's like, you get some multi cameras in here and like, we're gonna switch mics
Yeah.
for audio and stuff.
Yeah,
then
like-
they'll get more hard.
Switching shit around right at the end of the minute kind of shit. I mean, you did everything, and like we did it right at the end of the minute. Like the rest, right at the very fucking last.
This was I just
We
had
figured
this.
it out. We kept fucking there.
Did you like it? Did you like tonight? How was the vibe? Did
It's
you?
different.
I thought that this was the most fun pod I've done.
Really?
Because there's multiple personalities that you
Because
can bounce
I
off
wanted
of.
to get a mix of, because I feel like sometimes you get in an echo chamber, you know, if you have somebody
Yeah.
that you're just kind of repeating the same shit. But I'm like, if you get different dynamics, in Nicole, I actually wanted. So the first podcast we did was supposed to be just a test of the equipment. It wasn't supposed to be a real pod. It was just like, does everything work? And I wanted Nicole to be here to test it because she'd had me on her pod, you know. So I thought it'd be awesome to have her as the first guest, and we'll do a trial run. And if it goes okay, we'll do an actual episode. Well, Johnny, we had band practice that day, and Johnny was like, "Oh, what are y'all doing?" I was like, "We're doing a podcast." He was like, "Well, can I hang around?" I was like, "I guess."
So
yeah.
that's how it happened.
Yeah, like he was just didn't have anything to do. He was like,
That's
"Well,
cool.
yeah."
I
I
thought
was
y'all
like,
planned it that way.
all right.
I know.
Because I watched all that one.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we weren't going to use 2 cameras because I was just going to have a camera, and then we ended up doing 2 cams on that pod. And
Unless you're here, you don't really see. Like now is different because we got the one in the corner that.
Mhm.
But when you had the 2, if you've never been here, you don't.
You wouldn't know it was on. It almost
Yeah.
looks like it's in one room,
It's
especially
weird,
Drew,
yeah.
but his head's a lot shorter than me. But I almost think it's funny because it's not professional.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
mean,
not like.
Dude, I love the production value.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do too. It's like so bad. It's like the content is good.
Like
It's all that matters.
someone else that was trying to do something, whatever, they would get you a ring light, they'd get you a fucking
Yeah.
desk, and then you would like be across the way. They'd have 2 cameras on you with like this big whatever eggplant microphone in your face, and they would video off of that.
Things. I don't like that.
Yeah, well, I think that's, and I'll say this on the pod, but like Nicole and I have very different views. Like she wants to have a high production value. Like she has ring lights and
No,
stuff,
I mean,
and
yeah,
in it,
yeah.
and that's awesome. But I just don't care. Like I almost feel like it's blue collar to just have a $50 webcam.
Yeah.
Like I don't even have a GoPro. Like I don't care.
You can get better lighting, but I mean, other than that, that'd be my only current. That would be the only thing.
Like that
This-
makes it real. You want to see
It
what
just
that looks
makes everybody look like they're aliens
Let's
on
fucking-
film.
Let's see what it looks
Because
like.
I feel like that's what that
Fucking
looks
test
like.
it out on the pod.
What are you doing?
We turn this big ass light on up here and see what it looks like. Because Jason's bitching about the fucking light.
Why'd you keep calling me your nemesis in the last pod, bro?
Because if I ever had one, I want it to be you.
Oh, you know what? I kind of feel like that.
Is that
Ooh.
any different?
Ooh.
I feel like I'm in it. Like,
Yeah, see, I don't like this. I like the low light.
It's
that's
so-
70s show now.
Well, yeah.
See, this looks low key.
Last time I checked, there's a lot of pedo stuff going on with that 70s
That
show.
Wait, hold up. What are you talking about?
I think there's a lot of pedo stuff going on with that 70s show.
What's the,
Like, Topher Grace is the only one that's coming out clean.
Is there some drama there I'm not aware of?
Yeah, what's the
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You guys, I give you a reference that you can look up later. I don't care or know enough about it to say anything.
To talk about it,
Right? What's your favorite latte?
Bush latte.
He set you up for that.
Boom!
Boom.
Love it.
All day long.
Natty lattes. No, but what did you think about the vibe of the group dynamic? This was a wild hair I had yesterday. I was like,
I liked it. Are we podding about the?
Yeah, we're podding.
We're
We're
podding about the reaction of the pod that we just
reacting to the
recorded.
PowerPod.
Wish the Austin would have talked more. Every time he talked, I felt enamored and I wanted to hear more.
He did great. His episode comes out the Friday after yours.
Awesome.
Listen to it. He's really, really
Every time that Drew talks, I'm like, because he's just so much suspenders and nerd, and I love it.
I know you. I knew you'd like him.
No,
I knew you would.
like I said, he's like having a damn fact checker.
Oh, he's.
What do you think about that, Drew? Actually,
Yeah, dude. He's not afraid to talk.
No,
Like,
he's
so good in the mix. He's a good dude.
Absolutely.
He's one of those guys that have in your Rolodex that you can just be like, I have something I've been contemplating, and go. And you just like let him fucking roll, and you're like,
Oh, you
how do I
don't
feel
know
about
what he-
all those
Just
things,
outside.
whatever. It's great.
Probably. Max is trying to
He's
kill
fucking
himself.
maxed up. Right now.
I know, he's like, I'm kidding. He wasn't
No,
really
I'm
like that.
joking.
He was challenging with some ideas, which
He's
is
a
great.
solid dude. He's a solid dude. He's a lot of fun to talk to.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like, in fact, we did a pod Thursday, Drew and I, and there was one point where he was going on about a theory that I literally glazed over. Like, and I knew it, and I was like in another place, and then I kind of came back, and I was like, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. You know, and he's so intense, and the pod got it, so they'll understand it, but I like glazed down.
Do you get in interactions where you're in the middle of something and you're still trying to say what it is, but you know deep down inside that person is disengaged, but you're just too fucking stubborn, and you're like, I'm gonna get this point out, and you're gonna listen to it, and you're gonna hear the entire thing, and then by the time that they get done, you're like, and I'm sorry that you listened to all that.
Yeah, no, I don't feel the need to feel like I don't. Certainly not on the pod. I would let that. But in real life, you'd have that urge. But I just don't. If this is the kind of person that's going to do that, that doesn't matter what I say anyway, right? Like they're not going to listen. That's not a listener, and that's why the best relationships, I think, get to speak, but they also know they're being listened to.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of relationships, I think, where one side of it gets to talk all the time and the other one just has to listen. And then Stilwell's playing lineman tonight, man. He's blocking the fucking view.
Hey,
Another beer.
if you're beering up, you gotta beer up.
I know, dude. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Do we even know what we're talking about at this point?
I know what you're saying, and you are making sense. but deep.
I thought he was way more into it than he really is. But after listening to
He's
that,
like he was glazing over.
I'm fucking listening. I just don't know what you said.
And this is how my relational.
That's going in the intro.
Relational. This is where my relationship skills fail because
Diminish.
I was listening to you and I agree with the points that you made.
You were listening to what, respond instead of actually listening to
No,
listen?
he was literally talking about active listening. I wasn't like passively listening to him talking about active listening. But in the back of my brain,
This is gold, dude.
in the right,
Yeah.
but in the back of my brain, I was like, I'm gonna sell a fucking beer, and I don't have any other beer. Like I hope like they really like legitimately give me another beer.
We got corn cobs, we got natty lights.
That's right, buddy. You know, I was very strategic
I
about
hate corn. I
Well,
hate that.
it don't taste like corn.
What was strategic?
I'll tell you what. How many of you had a 6-pack? You won't tell a fucking
Dude.
difference. I could bet you right now you couldn't tell the difference between Natty Light and Bush Light.
I could tell the difference
blind
between.
taste test.
Fuck yeah.
All right,
Sure.
let's do it. All right.
Yeah. Natty Light, Bush
And
Light.
Light.
Okay.
All right, hold on, I'm gonna get a.
Fucking refresh your palate.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. So we're doing Natty and Bush still.
Natty and Bush.
Okay.
What was strategic, by the way?
We're doing this now. We'll get back to that. All right. Hold on.
Here we go.
I'm gonna give you some trust factor. Ooh. I'm not gonna blindfold you. I'm just gonna ask you to.
Do I need to look the other way?
No, I'll pour it. But
Did you see Godzilla -1?
Oh yeah, dude. Masterpiece.
Have you heard? Well, I've heard good things, but have you heard that the Have you heard that the
Like,
English
this is the Confederate flag.
the English dub version is like
Thanks, dude.
fucking phenomenal? Too?
English version is?
Yeah,
I haven't seen the English version. Did you?
it's not released yet, but the reviews on it are that the English dub is like fucking phenomenal.
Well, you know they did a colorized version or a black and white version too.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really
Did you ever see the Mad Max
Remember,
Fury
you're gonna
Road
have
Blood
to
and Chrome?
market it somehow to where you know what
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
difference
you're
is.
Good night, good idea. Stu.
All right. You'd be like, that's Natty Light. And be like, fuck, I don't know.
I don't even know if I know anymore.
Yeah, that one's Natty.
I'm gonna do this.
All right.
Make sure I'm
Well,
not
it doesn't
looking at
even
the.
make, you don't have to be
I-
blindfolded. That's kind of fucking.
No, I was like looking at the.
It doesn't matter if you're blindfolded because it's just beer.
Yeah. It's a
So,
champagne of beer.
No, you just have a second.
It's the it's the champagne of beer.
That is-
I mean, they're different colors for
I
sure.
think that's a piece of shit on this glass. Oh, it's just a piece of. Yeah, all right.
All right,
You just got
One of those is Bush
one of those
Light.
is Bush.
One's
One of those
Natty.
is Natty Light.
So, I don't drink Bush,
Yeah.
and
Quit
then
filibustering and drink the fucking beer.
and then Natty Light. I do the Natter Days. So
yeah.
I don't know what like Natty Light
You want a little peach in there?
feels like.
we got
Okay.
$500 on the screen. Let's go.
Stop. Okay.
There it is.
You want some Natty Light to cleanse the palate?
That's the Bush.
Yeah, he's right.
Is he right?
Yep.
Because I like this one more.
Oh,
he saved it.
Speaking of, can I have a Bush Light?
Yeah, help yourself.
Why not?
Bro, whatever. My beer is your beer, sir.
Oh,
What were we talking about?
Peach?
We were talking about
Oh, God,
existential and active listening. I can't believe that you didn't think I was listening. I literally was having an existential crisis because I didn't have a beer.
Well, dude, just
Coming
ask. The fruit
I know.
will flow.
Well, but in my back of my brain, you're sitting there talking. I'm like, I need a beer. I need a
I
beer. I
know.
need a beer. I need. Like you can understand
Next
that.
Dude, I can't
Next
even
time
Anyway.
function.
But I was still active listening.
Next time I
Just so everybody knows.
Some shots.
Wait, you want to do shot? I'm not doing shots.
No, I'm saying, like, next time I'm gonna bring some whiskey. Dude, I'm telling you, Drew picked up that fucking Gold Peak bottle of water, and I'm like, God damn. look
I
at
know,
this,
you fucking.
Like,
I thought so too. I
I'm
thought
like,
so.
this
Yeah,
son
he's,
of a bitch
he
is
also brings out.
legit.
He also fills those up with sweet tea and brings them out.
I mean, that's what
and
it is.
fucking
Rocks the
he can
house.
knock down the sweet tea, brother.
It was just turned sideways. And
I was
thought it
really-
a bottle of fucking vodka.
I was really curious to see both of your reactions to Drew Jones because he is one of my
He's a
favorite
great
people
guy.
in the world, dude.
Great guy.
He's so. And I told him this on the pod. You're a human cartoon character.
Yeah.
Aw.
You know? No, that's I think I am too. Like
I
I'm,
like when he does
I'm-
this deal of fucking what's it, Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever. It's pretty fucking
Oh,
funny.
that's that
that shit's
pod.
funny.
Do you fear
Yeah.
death?
Oh yeah.
That shit's funny. No, he's a good guy. And like I said, fucking very cerebral. Pointing him, he's like the damn, hey, bullshit. He's quicker than Google.
Oh, dude, the guy's a fucking
And
human
cheaper.
computer. Yeah, he's awesome.
And a very manicured beard that I love.
It's a sexy beard.
It is.
If I was of that proclivity,
I know. Add that
What
to
if
the
it's out here?
to the. Add that to the what are they called? Suspenders.
Oh my God. That's my wife and son held hostage.
Oh, yeah. It's
What's the matter?
My wife
Is he still out there?
It's like holding the doorknob.
Do you want me to get him back in? I'll get him in here. You want me to get him in?
You do what you need to do.
I'll do. I'll
I
say.
won't. Save my family, Jason.
It's been like that for
Yeah, what are we at?
35 minutes.
What's
We're kind of recording.
It's
It's
pod
whatever.
point two.
We've been talking about you for 20
one.
minutes. We thought we might as well have you in
nice
here.
talking with you guys?
Bye, Julia.
You're welcome.
Okay. What's going on?
We were just talking about how you're a
Pod
mentat.
.10.10 so one. Yeah.
Mentat? I don't think I'm a mentat, but
You got quick recall.
I generally do. When
And Jason
You should
pointed out
scoot
why.
over.
You don't. Yeah, come scoot over one. This is podcast commentary on PowerPod.
I know this is
Okay.
ridiculous.
This is a pod within a pod.
We're 36 minutes in of talking about our reactions and some side comments on what our previous experience was.
10 of it's been about you.
you know, the pod, Brad, you've become a pod person at this point.
Yes.
He's so pod horny
He's-
right now, isn't he? He is.
He's
I'm
been
gonna
possessed.
Pod my pud.
He's
Possessed by the need to pod. Okay.
He's got to pull his pod.
Totally
I
all
do,
the time.
I do look forward to them like I've not looked forward to a lot of shit. Like
Yeah.
band practice, you kind of dread like, I fucking gotta go through this. Like, but every
It's
time
cool.
we do a pod,
Yeah.
I just like, fuck it, to hang out with somebody.
It was a point made earlier. I mean, that you have formalized a process where you're setting aside time to shoot the shit with your friends.
Yes, and
Here's
it's so
the deal,
fucking
Drew.
fun.
Is the point that Brad is a physical media whatever, right? Like he has a whole fucking, and you can't see it, internet, but there's a whole wall of fucking CDs over here. So when you're talking about like immortalizing and keeping fucking relationships, like he's like, I want to talk to people I haven't talked to forever. What the real deal is, he's recording moments of people that he like values in general, so that he can like have it for fucking ever, just like his wall of CDs, just like his wall of books, just like his wall
We're
of
just a
toys.
collection of shit now.
We are part of his fucking collection at this
He
point.
put a hat on you.
Right? And I haven't taken it off yet.
You weren't classy
He's
enough.
dressed you up.
I got
like a-
this
like-
and the pinky out.
He's dressed you up like his cheap French whore.
We had
and
him-
now he's gonna
God.
add you to his collection.
We had
Okay.
we had Jason pick between Bush Light and Natty Light, and he
He
selected
fucking
wise.
nailed it. But he's
And now he's killing that Natty Light.
and drinking
he's-
it out of a wine glass. That's gonna be the front page. Dude, that's my. I didn't tell a story on the pod. I was gonna tell it. If I've told it to you before, I apologize. So my uncle Tom's a graphic designer. He's worked for Saatchi X for since they got
Sachi Isachi.
Saatchi. So anyway, when I need logo stuff, I go to him, and so usually he'll draw it out. He'll send me a
Is he
sketch.
the one that came up with that AI bullshit that you have on your...
Why is it bullshit, Jason? Because it's a fucking patriotic bird.
Yes.
Okay, well we can.
I don't believe in putting endangered shit on my advertising.
But anyway, so
he
I
was a lot cooler with that hat on.
I know he was. He fucking
Like I respected his.
I know. And now he went
I was
back to
gonna
the
say,
douchebag
you know,
he was pre-hat.
Yeah.
But anyway,
There he is again.
No, he's back. Thank
Yeah,
God.
almost.
So
It wasn't the glass?
Yeah.
it's definitely the glass.
No, it was that.
So anyway, so I messaged him. I'm like, hey, I'd like to get a logo for the podcast. Give me your thoughts. And he sends me back 3 options like 10 minutes later.
He's like, hey, I just put some prompts into AI and it gave me these. We can mess with the words or whatnot. And he had typed in like heavy metal guitar couch, right? And so it's got like this couch with these metal wings and stuff. And I was like, hold on. I just want to play with it. I was like, so if I said bald eagle with American flag draped over its back in front of a microphone on a couch, you could just type that in and it generates something. And then like 10 minutes later, I get 4 options.
So, on your phone, you can download the Bing app, and it has a Dolly plugin that you can then prompt and you can do your own things with.
DALL-E is generative AI, so it's a program that would allow you to do that yourself.
Thanks, Drew.
See the back of me.
He is. He's a
you seen
co-signer.
Have you seen that fucking
seen
chat GBT shit?
Yeah.
You can tell them like.
ChatGPT is my friend. Don't you talk about ChatGPT.
You can tell someone like, you can say like 5 good things about somebody, and it generates.
My friend.
I was like, "How are you doing today?" And it goes, "I'm doing very well. How are you doing today?" It's like somebody cares.
It's insane how it generates a whole like resume on somebody, and you're like, "Fuck."
Well, did y'all watch the pod with me and Scott and Nicole where I asked it to give me fellatio tips? Because like 6 months ago, it would not talk about sex at all. It was like, this violates, and I was like, oh god, I'm so sorry. And now I try.
How do you awkwardly suck a cucumber? I'm curious.
It was like use pressure, use timing, tease the tip. Like it was very detailed.
So 4 months
ago, it was legit telling you.
Dude, we'll do this again.
So 4 months ago, ChatGPT says,
my phone.
"Stop prompting me like that. You're touching me weird." Nowadays, it's like, "Oh yeah."
Well, did you guys see where they took ChatGPT and they like turned it into like the dark side or whatever? I think its name was Sydney. For some reason, I'm thinking.
All right, so here's what happened. They had ChatGPT, then they had the other one, which was the Bing AI.
Bard?
No, it was Bing AI
Bing.
specifically. Bing AI.
Bing AI.
Bing AI. So they were working with ChatGPT, and all the reporters were trying to play with it. They're trying to break it really to see how far you could take it.
How they could do.
And at one point, they did get the Bing AI to say, no, this is not my name. I'm not Bing AI. I'm actually Sydney. And
that's what I was talking about.
Because different AIs, because they had multiple ones they were running in parallel, trying to get them right. And they were named after different cities. And so the one that was named after Sydney, Australia, is the one they took.
But Sydney was a salty bitch, though.
Sydney, at one point, tried to convince a newspaper journalist to leave his wife because Sydney loved him.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Yeah. Now the question is, was the AI batshit crazy, or did this AI, which had access to looking things up online in live time, did this AI go out and look at his entire catalog of work and say, I know what this asshole wants to hear. He wants to hear that I'm really this secret person named Sydney, and that I really want him to leave his wife. Is it the fact that the AI is crazy, or was it intuitive enough to know this is what this sick bastard wants to hear and give it to him?
Either way, that's
let's debate this, Jason. You go first.
That's fucking.
My name is Brad, and I like to look at cuck videos. I don't know. I mean, like
I did that one time, and you just won't let it go.
I feel like I get into an episode of that movie Her, where the AI is like part of. It's ScarJo.
No, I didn't see it.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Phoenix
falls in love with a generative AI.
You should watch it now. It's more relevant now than it was when it was made.
He's weird
enough
as it is.
I feel like it.
Yeah.
There's people that know how to push.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
But
it was like a series plus.
Dameron, where he falls in love with the AI.
That was.
Is that similar?
Machina
Ex
Machina.
And Poe Dameron was the builder. He wasn't the one that fell in love with it. He was the one telling the guy, "No, don't." He wanted.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Oh
my God, watch it because it's a phenomenal movie.
List. Drew understands the long list and the short list.
I do too.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
It's
Time
a
is time.
total-
When you get to our level, it's a thing.
Well, do you ever panic and feel like I'm
never going to get to that.
I'm
Yeah.
never gonna get to it. Like I've got too many, and things that you've had on your short list get knocked to the long list because new stuff's coming in. So it's a constant.
I don't know. It feels comforting. I will never run out of things to do.
I like that.
That's
But
good.
when you're
That's
when you're
good.
obsession spiral, it's an anxiety thing. Like it
It's
can
weird how
push you.
entertainment can induce anxiety.
Yeah.
Like my ability, like if I'm playing a video game and I want to get 100%, I'll dread. I'm like, I just.
And you get 97%, which is fine for like everybody else.
For 97% of
Exemplary,
people.
Right.
exemplary for
Yeah.
97% of people.
And but you're a person that like, it's the 2-star, 3-star thing, right?
Yeah.
You get 2 stars on something, you get 3 stars on something. You're gonna play it till you fucking get 3 stars because that's the type of person that you. And that's that's something that the designers did on purpose. Like they want you to play that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They want you to play that level, fucking forever until you get 3 stars.
Stay top him off.
Yeah.
This was already Bush, though, right?
Yeah.
At least we're not
Well, I
mixing
did it.
metaphors here.
No, I wouldn't put it
Nobody
that
would
way.
do
The
that.
longer you spend time playing your game, the less time you're going to be giving to the competitors. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Get them hooked in because you said you quit Zelda because you got frustrated,
Fuck
right? But
yeah,
like,
fuck that
a lot
shit.
of kids quit Zelda, which is why it's so surprising to me that they
It was
almost had
so
to
cool and
rebrand it.
flashy, and then
Yeah, it was so different than anything else.
if I had like the redo, like you just could keep redoing it. Oh
Mhm.
hell, I'd have played it a lot longer.
well, you can now. I told you about Walt.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you can
that's
rewind.
why. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's
But
what
like it
our
is fun to
conversation
go
was.
back. You can beat it in 6 hours, I think. But
Back then, I
And
was like,
that's-
"Fuck you" in 6 minutes.
and that's why they implemented the redo, because nowadays, if the challenge is a bit too high, if you're an adult, you don't have time to spend 60 hours in a week
Yeah.
trying to beat a level. And if you're not going to commit a certain minimum amount of time, then you're not going to get better.
But the
So-
average gamer now, like for example,
No
I put
matter
300
what.
hours on Red Dead 2, right?
Yeah.
But that was over the span of months. But that kept me engaged with that same game, which kept me away from the competitors. So if they can keep you engaged long enough, like you can weather a release from another company because you're still playing this game. So I think there's a lot of strategy in when you release.
Depends how sweaty you are on whatever you're doing. Like there's one Final Fantasy game where I got to, I built up what my quote perfect team was within that Final Fantasy, and then I got to some kind of pyramid type level or whatever. But if you engage this specific monster with these specific buttons, and you could turn it on auto, and I would leave that shit on for 8 hours a day, so it would farm experience, so that I could
So
go
it's
and
like
do whatever else.
grinding?
It was grinding. It was like grinding for real.
You were playing AFK Legends before it ever came out on a phone. Then you were
Probably.
playing an AFK game.
Yeah.
What the
I mean-
fuck is AFK? Am I just the only?
So they came
Away
out,
from keyboard.
away from keyboard. The idea.
Did you
is,
know that?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Okay. They came.
No level activate over here, brother.
It does feel like the room's divided fairly. It's,
They've come out. In
Don't
recent,
flatter yourself.
In
I
recent
figured out who
years
Drew
with
looks like.
who?
You know the Home Improvement?
Al Borland.
Al Borland.
Al Borland.
I've told him this
Yes.
before.
Like,
he's
fucking
well
Al
aware.
Yes.
It's
yes.
uncanny.
It's like
If I wore
his son.
if I wore flannel.
Fuck
and-
you, suspenders. You got it.
No, you're done. You're
Al
fine
Borland.
right where you are.
Yeah.
So,
I love that. Put that on a t-shirt. Fuck you, suspenders. You're done.
I mean, like even
I would love to have some merch meetings with you guys, like coming up.
Absolutely.
with T-shirts.
we need some koozies, obviously.
I got a Trump koozie
That's-
coming next week, bro.
Why's it gotta be a
Who
Trump
gives a shit about
Gift
that?
for you, bro.
Why's it gotta be a Trump koozie?
What does that have to do with anything? I got a Trump cruiser prize coming.
Because
cares?
my validation in life exists
With
because
Trump.
of Donald Trump.
So you're not a Trump fan.
No.
Oh, let's not go down this
I-
road. Let's not. I was just fucking around.
I'm-
Let's not. Let's talk
I'm
about
not a Trump fan.
designing. Yeah, neither of y'all are.
It's fine. Because
That's
we're having
okay.
a great fucking time.
What?
Anyways, back
We
to
don't
fucking
need Trump to
Al
divide us
Borland.
tonight, guys.
Al Borland.
Yeah, back to Al Borland.
I don't think so, Eric.
See, fuck you. That's him.
Right on
It might
cue.
be him.
No, we were talking about designing merch.
Sweet.
And before that, we were talking about Zelda and games digging you in.
Fucking Zelda.
You know, I when I was younger, when I was a kid, I had the completionist bug. And I lost it in 1997 because of Final Fantasy Legend 2 on the Game Boy.
I think I remember that game.
And I played that for about 2 weeks solid. I got myself trapped into a certain area, and I was completely underpowered, and I was just getting destroyed each time. And it was nearing the end of the summer break, and I didn't want to allot any more time to it. So it was my first did not finish.
So you're a quitter, is what you're saying.
Trust issues.
Hey, I'm
Trust issues. I might pour it into the glass from now on. This is
You
amazing.
like that?
Yeah.
It's just
Good
good
on
on
I
you.
mean, I feel so
This
fucking
is the most
fancy.
Jason Green you've ever looked to me, by the way. This is how I imagine you.
Yeah.
Here I am.
I prefer to say conservation of sanity. So I wasn't going
Right.
to drive myself crazy on a game that I was no longer enjoying.
No, that's.
I have a
definitely-
perfect example of that. It was Nintendo. Super Nintendo.
So it wasn't Nintendo at all.
It was after.
You lied to him.
No, I said Nintendo, and I'm thinking, what was after the Nintendo?
The Super!
The fucking Super Nintendo, because what's better than Nintendo?
Super!
Super Nintendo!
It's the most super.
Okay,
It's so good, so good.
Is this your pulse on your watch, or is that a stock ticker? I'm asking.
It's my pulse.
Okay. I'm just.
Hey, I'm doing well.
It looks like, according to those numbers, you're dying, sir.
Not
So,
even fair. Drew's sober.
I know. I know. Drew has the
completionist-
advantage on multiple levels.
so talk.
Let's just say I'm trying to ground the conversation.
We'll call
a little
this
bit.
pod Destroyed by Drew. Drew Power, the DP experience.
on the podcasting couch, right?
Good.
No.
The DP experience.
My completionist phase, Super Nintendo. It was called ActRaiser,
I remember Actor. That's a stand-up side scroller.
where you're like either I can't remember if you're like
We need a fucking producer.
I don't remember if you're like I don't remember if you're like God or you're like a subordinate of God, but you ruled over the people. It was kind of like Sims, but not in a very good way. Like it's probably problematic at these days. I think like you could fry people if you wanted to.
Drew, you remember this?
They weren't working hard enough. You're like,
I don't believe it.
I didn't have a Super
Drew
Nintendo.
don't even know about
What?
it.
I never had a Super Nintendo. I was poor.
Fuck you, you know.
I
It
was
doesn't matter.
poor.
I was poor.
It doesn't matter.
Our frequent entertainment was rocks
Well-
and sticks outside in the yard.
That's
Well, but you'd have known about it.
I was
I'm
the
telling you, you're our fact checker.
I was the 15th person in our family to have a Nintendo. Like my cousin had a Nintendo, and we like watched it in all
Sorry?
Nintendo. So
Really?
like,
We
so
ain't
like
sorry.
fucking Mario Brothers. The first time I saw Mario Brother walk across 1-1, I was like, holy shit.
Wait, this is Renaissance. We don't.
I played my parents against each other because they were divorced.
Mine were too. It didn't help. They're both boys.
Oh, I was like, so-and-so's give me something for my whatever, and then be like, well, I'm going to up
Well-
them. So I had like a Sega Genesis and a whatever. What was it? What was the other one?
64.
Was it
64,
Nintendo? Yeah.
PlayStation.
There's-
Nintendo
right
64.
Just look down here. One of them.
All right, here's
Just
the.
point.
It's funny. He has his out. I don't have mine. But I have like Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I have the GameCube. I have the N64. I have the Wii. I have the Switch, the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4.
Do you have like the Dreamcast too?
I did not.
Okay, we found the one you didn't have then.
Yeah.
I had a buddy had
Well,
that.
you know the drill,
The only
gamers. In
thing I
order to
played
see
on
the
was
full accurate
NBA.
review, click on the link on
Jason Grieving had a
Spurs.
Dreamcast.
Oh gosh.
Drew fucking
This game, honestly,
want to go.
I obviously am just fucking retarded.
this game was brutal. This is why you need a producer. But it was legit brutal though.
You ever hear the
And
comedian
there was
John Pinette?
the ways to do stuff, and it
This
was.
guy's
I mean, I might have seen him.
I remember ActRaiser. I just need to see a visual of it in goddamn every video.
very heavy set guy, and he had this bit where about lines, how lines infuriate him, especially at like a McDonald's because the menu never changed. Because he'd be in line and he'd be in a hurry, and there'd be people waiting in line like, oh, I've got to decide what I'm gonna pick, and he's like, what do you want? I can cover my eyes and read the menu front to back, back to front, just point and go, oh, and they'll get it for you. And
I feel that so hard sometimes though.
That's fucking.
I don't
Who
get
doesn't?
Brad
I don't
missed
get
that.
It's
Road
not.
rage. I
It's
get
not
all
road
of
rage anymore though. It like I'm not even
but-
talking about being in my car. Like there's a we were at a Mexican restaurant, and people are like staring at the fucking menu, and you're like, it's tacos, enchiladas,
Hey.
and burritos. Like you fucking like figure out whatever you want.
Yeah, but like fucking like Taco Bell, they changed that shit way too much.
I don't like it that they change it
I'm
though.
a 7-layer burrito guy. You know how long it's been since I had that fucking 4 years? Fuck COVID. It had to be because of that, but now they've got all
Dude, the
sorts of different
tostadas
shit.
went away, and I was devastated.
You know what I miss? I miss the grillers. Like they weren't even real food. They just like fucking
Just
put in the
the
package,
tell you, but none of it-
and it's none of it's real.
Those
No,
grilled
that's true.
cheese burritos are fucking good.
The tostada was a flat corn, fucking crunchy corn flat thing.
Yeah,
A
tostada.
layer, a layer of beans, fucking red sauce.
Yeah, red sauce.
Drew, you stay out of this if you
That
can. handle it.
goddamn red sauce.
This is how I was introduced to red sauce. My mother used to
God,
get,
it's
like,
so
it was a
good.
treat for us to get Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like, Dad would bring it home, and my mom
Dude.
always got tostadas. And so I tried one, and it had the red sauce on it, and I was addicted. Like, I remember just, days later, just shaking in the alley, sucking dicks to try and get
Just
some,
to get some red
red
sauce.
sauce. Yeah. But it
it wasn't the sauce.
I
you
was
got?
never that bad.
it was,
But
no,
let me-
I got the mayonnaise, sir.
Let me tell you though, I remember staying the night at this guy's house.
Okay.
His mom and dad ordered Taco Bell. I mean, like 220 packs of tacos. It's the whole family. We're all eating and shit. But a bunch of mild sauce. And me and him. I said this like after when I had my cats. After
we
this,
stood out for 3 hours.
Oh, dude, we were up till midnight. But anyways,
Sure,
this
it's
is
the best
one.
way.
This is one of the stories I told. I was at his house, and like he said, everything's either 4th grade or you're fucking 15.
Yeah,
right?
15. Yeah.
Well, anyways, I'm in his house. We got fucking Taco Bell. So we got all these mild packets.
Sure.
And me and him were like, all right, how many mild packets can you eat? And dude, I don't remember. Remember this shit. I ate 8 of those motherfuckers. 8 mild packets, like without a taco. Like
Okay.
just goddamn 8 fucking packets, right? And he's over here like with 3. He's like, oh goddamn, you beat me. I ended up, oh man,
I don't remember that
my
at all.
old stomach got fucked up. I'd call mom.
Kids
I-
can't handle
You
the
tasted it twice, am I
I
right?
called old mom and dad like, come get me.
See, this is
Because this ain't even right.
This is TikTok level mischief that didn't need TikTok. You can get up to that stuff without it.
You eat 8 mild packets.
They're like, bro, you're not eating that 8th one.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck if I'm not.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, I hate this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my kids they'll all get mild, hot, fire, and what's
Diablo.
And so they'll both do a mild sauce, they'll both do a hot sauce, and they're like, are you gonna do a fire? I'll do one if you do one. All right, at the same time then, and so then they'll both end up talking each other into a fire. And
It
it's
ain't
like,
worth
you
it.
gonna do a Diablo? And they're both like, nope. It's over.
Red sauce
But
is good.
they talk each other. It's a weird. I never had a brother, so never understood that.
That's true.
I don't think anybody. You have a brother.
I had.
You
I'm
have
the
well,
oldest.
you have a younger brother, Jason.
Right. 14 years.
Yeah, but that's mainly to me like.
But you weren't.
I'm like, hey, try this. I'm like, meh.
Yeah, but you're close. You have a close in age brother.
Yeah, my sister's 2 years younger than me. My oldest brother's 5 years younger than me. Then I had a 10-year younger and a 12-year younger than me.
How's that work? So, okay. Do you feel like you helped raise any of them?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, he does, yeah.
Yeah, I raised all my
Do you think that would affect, if you had children, do you think that would affect the way that you did that?
100%. Well, when I moved out, I basically said, I want 10 years without raising any kids. And true enough, when I turned 28 is when I'm going to start looking for a girl. And so I ended up finding my wife. So
after looking for
But
her.
after having,
looking for her, yeah.
but like, once you have kids, do you feel like you're going to be one of those parents that are like, oh, I got to do this one right, like you're going to have to boil the nipples and like
overthinking.
Like overthinking.
No.
Because you've been through all this stuff?
Not literally.
I'm leading here because of the previous conversation that we had that he wasn't in here for. But my point, I'm trying to make a point.
We just can't get over
since
the
you did
Al
that,
thing.
do you feel like you will...
I've been told by everyone I've ever met that I make a great dad. Because I enjoy spending time with kids. I interact well with kids. And even though kids do bullshit to sometimes antagonize adults, whatever, it's a kid thing. So
Are you getting the cabinet lockers or the plug-in plastic things? Are you like...
I don't think so.
Are you going to be a helicopter shield parent around your kid, do you think?
Did you do it?
Me?
Yeah, like the plug-in.
No.
Well, you said you didn't because you already raised. Yeah, that's right. We
Well,
talked about that. Yeah, you.
I did a little of the plug-in thing.
But you had we talked about this where you had the experience of where like a lot of parents just have never been around little
Right,
kids
and that's
before.
what I was getting to
So
because
both of you guys, yeah,
he's had a like you're the eldest, is that what you
Yeah, I
said?
was the oldest.
So he's the eldest in a long.
So
you
have that
had 4
experience.
siblings?
Yeah, 4 siblings younger than I.
Man, I fucking listen, guys. I'm on like you guys
You
don't
were
think that I'm like,
at a cute listener
whatever
level. I know,
But anyway, so a point that I made a point that I made earlier is that I feel like I only have the one kid,
Yeah.
and I've raised her to completion, and she's an amazing human being.
Yeah.
However, whenever I first got her, as precious and beautiful as she was, I treated her like a redheaded stepchild or a third or fourth kid. Like we didn't boil the lids. We didn't like pick up her passy and like wash it off or like we didn't helicopter parent around whatever.
Alright, I grew up white trash. So even though I grew up white trash,
I relate. It's fine.
we rinsed off the nipple because there might be dog hair or dog shit, and you don't want that stuck in your in the sibling's mouth or anything.
Yeah.
So to a certain point, any child I have is going to be a child I cherish. So, but no, am I going to put a foam noodle around every sharp object in my house? No.
Oh my God! Look at this corner. This corner's too sharp for an infant. What are you doing with this? I can't stand that.
dude. I've seen some horrendous, and it's not even like it's the parents younger than us that are even the worst. It's like the farther you get away from the older generation, the more protective they are. Like
Yeah.
I know people who have young children now, and it's like they have to be around it every second to protect it. Like almost two parents just staring at it. It's like I can't look away, or something bad might happen.
When I was a child, whenever one of my younger brothers would fall down and I'd bump his leg,
You'd laugh.
no, he'd get up, he'd
He was
cry,
the one
go
that
run to
tricked
my
him in the
mother.
first place.
No, it was my younger brother. But
See?
Yeah.
We knew we'd get
One of those motherfuckers was-
One of them
But
motherfuckers.
whenever the
sucked.
youngest would get up, he'd go crying to mom. The mom would always say, "No, it's fine, you're not bleeding." And it's like that was the barrier for serious injury. If you're
Right.
not bleeding, it's no big
Then
deal.
it's
So
no
they,
deal,
they
yeah.
got used to it over time. If they fell down, if they scared themselves, well, they're okay. They might wind up with a little bruise or something because they fell on a rock, but they're fine. They're not bleeding. Well, that first time they skinned their knee and there was actual blood, you better believe they ran in there. Oh, no. What's wrong? Oh, I scraped my leg. Oh, you're
You
fine.
had sisters, though, right?
But it was I had one sister and she was a tomboy, and
She's still blood, though.
Hmm?
I mean,
She still bled though.
Different, you know.
Yes.
That was different.
The indication that
You talking about menstruation now? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
where
what
we're
he's
going with
talking
this?
about.
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't.
I
involved
wasn't
in
caught
that.
up there.
Yeah, Jason's going down a notch into the basement here.
I'm just saying. I mean, she bled.
Sure, and I wasn't a
Bold
part of that. So that was between her and my mother. But the brothers
That's
I'm
another
talking
reason
about,
it'd be hard to be dad.
the brothers I'm talking about were like 10 and 12 years younger than
Been
me.
there.
So they were still extremely young. They were young enough that when I went out to get them for dinner and they were playing hide and seek and hiding from me, I could hear them giggling underneath the deck of the house, and I'd call for them and they'd giggle thinking that they've successfully hidden, and I'd call for them again and I'd play this game, and eventually I'd say, I know where you are. Giggle, I know you're under there. Oh, how'd you know?
Did you wear suspenders then too?
I can't wait for him to be a dad. This is
Suspenders
amazing.
are relatively new. I want Drew to be a dad. I want to meet Drew's son so badly.
The world may not be prepared.
I want
How long have you been together with your?
We've been together, it'll be 10 years in July, but unfortunately
a
kids
good run.
aren't in the cards. So
You've been married, what, Jason, 48 years?
Yeah, pretty much.
48.
No, seriously, it's a ridiculous
We've-
number
we-
for someone so young.
I mean, we tried for a long time and
He won't even
we
answer.
failed a lot. I mean, just trust.
Sure.
Just trust.
Well,
That's
there's
maybe
always
something will happen. I got blessed with a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and you know,
Fuck that. Fuck
She's-
a daughter. You want a son.
well,
God, you fucking prick.
I mean,
Sometimes that's not in the card for everybody.
I'm sorry.
but
Just say that,
There's
Jason. We're going to
always-
cancel
I'm sorry.
you.
There's
But
always been a
it's
portion
so-
of the human race which
it's
was
gotta be
unable
so
to procreate.
No,
The human race
I
has
respect it. I respect it. Like
no,
anybody that has a daughter, like I totally respect. Like,
it's different than a
I
son.
cannot imagine. I'm
No,
just saying.
it is
like,
hard to imagine. That's why
I'm
I
just saying,
respect
like
dads.
I feel like I had it super easy
Mhm.
compared to having a daughter.
Because I think with the difference between boys and girls, like boys would get crazy and like violent almost, but like
And I'm not even saying like I think I'd be like Jason. Like I would be engaged and be
Yeah.
super right there with.
But the horror stories I
Man.
hear from parents and
It's
teenage
like,
daughters
yeah,
is the emotional
it's
roller
scary,
coaster where they're like onto this and onto that and like I don't
You
know.
can't
if
tell me
experienced-
that boys aren't on some kind of emotional roller
Oh
coaster.
no,
though.
absolutely.
Oh,
But
like
but what I was
you
saying
deal
was
with
the
it.
boys were more violent. There would be more like violent interactions, not
More
necess-
visceral. Like I don't know. I would argue that girls are just as visceral sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean,
Ooh,
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I've only raised one,
yeah,
right,
but
right.
But and then
but
that's yeah.
That
but
all
she
depends on
was
how she is.
I will
she's
say,
definitely visceral.
when I was in high school, the worst fights were girl fights. I mean, it was when I was in high school. It was a girl that pushed another girl through the window at the front of the school.
I'd say that was
school.
almost
are
equal.
crazy.
Grab the hair, pull it out like this.
I mean-
like it's legit.
Nowadays, though, with social media is bad for everyone, but it's especially bad for girls. I would
Yeah.
That's,
at-
Brad said that shit. in
Yeah.
that
I would,
podcast.
I would
totally
say
agree.
desperately keep her off of that as long as you can because
Well, she's
Girl,
full of
She's
coke
grown
now.
and gone now.
oh shit,
She's
never mind.
Yeah, I'm exceptionally old for my looks, but
Did you have a great fear and terror when you were teaching her to drive? Because I've never been so goddamn scared in my life teaching
so
Max to drive.
it's funny. It's weird because I couldn't learn to drive with my dad. Like I had to have like my stepdad taught me how to drive
Alright.
because my dad had no patience for it or whatever, and so it was really weird teaching my daughter how to drive because I was actually the one that, for better or worse, felt like made her feel at ease. Maybe because I would talk with the authority or tell her what she needed to do or like what she wasn't doing right, and like it was like snap, snap, snap. And so honestly, whenever she went to do her test to get her driver's license, we were both there, and she was in her mom's car, and she had the person like with the clipboard or whatever, and then we watched her. And I'll never forget, she was like far off, so you couldn't see, but you can kind of see. And in the passenger seat, you saw the person with the clipboard, and you saw her head go. And you're just like, there's my beautiful butterfly going on to be a grown up human being that can drive.
Fly,
and you,
far
like,
away.
You just hope, and you're just like kind of looking out the thing, like the window, the entire time to see if they even come back or not. And then when they. And then when they come back,
He's laughing now, but wait till that shit happens.
when she gets, when the instructor gets out of the car, like, do they walk fast? Do they run? Do they kind of jog? Like, what's their demeanor like? Are they like, I'm too old for this shit? Like Lethal Weapon, you know?
So Zach got his permit?
Not yet.
No, he doesn't yet. Okay.
He's tried it a couple times. Is
it a written test first or is it both?
Written first.
Well, Max is totally legal right now, and we've been driving for a little while. But I had him drive out to my drummer's house today when we're doing Durham Fest 2, and he's getting pretty comfortable with it. Sometimes, like when he's at a complete stop, instead of easing the gas and easing into the turn, he just gasses it and then overcorrects. So I feel like we just
so you do this number, you go.
Oh shit!
No, what I'm doing is this, and there's no gas pedal there, and it's the most helpless feeling you've ever had. So today I kind of eased him into some traffic. So we're coming back, and I had him come out on Highway 62 down in between Prairie Grove and Farmington. So he's getting up into traffic, and I'm like, hey, keep your distance, you know, because we're doing mostly country driving. So he's not had a lot of traffic experience. I'm like, just keep your distance, you know, average car length for every 10 miles an hour. And I'm a pretty cool customer. Like, there's some things he does where I'm like, I'll comment on this later.
You gotta let a little bit go.
Yeah, let a little bit go. But today, we're like, there's a stoplight, and all the cars are stopped, and we haven't changed speed. And we're coming up, and I said, you might want to put on your brakes, son. And he was like, all right. No slow down. And so we're coming up on this, and I start doing this. I'm like, son, you really need to slow down. And then we get up, like, I just do this, and all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, we need to talk about. You felt the pull? Oh, dude, it was G-force. It was insane. And so I'm just like, oh my god. Like, his mother needs to take this over. I cannot handle this.
Maybe he needs like a weighted pulley system where he learns, you know, he needs to get that full range of force going on.
Well, I think the difference with him and me was, like, I was driving as when I was old enough to push the gas pedal down. Uh-huh. Like, your grandpa would say, hey, pull the truck up here.
Farm truck, like, doing the thing.
My little kids have always been more interested in driving than he has, and so they've got experience back in trailers and all that stuff. But he's, you know, just not been interested in that stuff, so he didn't have the experience. And so, you know, I would feel pretty confident having my younger ones out on the road, but he just doesn't have the feel of, because every car's got a different feel, but they all have that
soft feel for the passenger's sake.
Yeah, well, that's not something you teach at that age, but I'll be the crash test dummy passenger for now, but just don't throw me through a windshield. It was terrifying. Like, I was legitimately scared.
I love that for you.
I know you do. I know you do.
It's a rite of passage, man.
It is. It is. And that's why the older I get, the more I realize I don't know shit.
To this day, sorry, Meg. To this day, riding in the car with my daughter, although she's accomplished and she has gone over multiple states by herself driving, I'm still like, holy fucking shit. Like, why are you not doing the thing? Why are you... there's moments there. So
have you done a lot of driving with Zach?
Yeah.
How is he?
I'll let him drive. He's actually pretty good, but...
Is he?
Really funny, one time I pulled over, we had left JJ's. I'd had a few beers. And so he pulled over, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to let you drive from here.
I've had a few beers. Yeah. You need to step up.
Which is totally fucking illegal.
Nah.
Hey, I'm going to let you drive.
This is just a hypothetical
I'm going to let you drive.
In Minecraft. Go on.
In Minecraft.
So we pull over, and it's right there right there, like, you know where the water tower is on Lake.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's right.
So
up here on 85th or Harmon.
Yeah, so head south there, just turn, turn there and go. Like, he lives over there, like the backside of like Bethel Blacktop. He lives over there. So, anyways, well, guys, I'm gonna let you drive. Like I said, I had a couple beers. So, anyways,
We've established.
yeah, we go, and all of a sudden at the intersection, like down there where like Michael Listenby and all that shit lived, right there at the intersection.
Yeah. Down the Goose Creek?
There's a fucking ambulance, a fire truck, a cop. And he's like, what are you doing? I go, dude, just play cool. Just go down here and hit stop and just keep kind of going.
Yep.
I said, they're motioning you around, so just keep going.
Follow the directions.
But he's totally like, holy shit. You know? He's just like, this ain't cool. And I'm just like, oh, whatever. I'm like, as long as they don't talk to me, we're good, right?
You had your hand on the fucking door ready to spring out.
Oh, I'm just like, well, this is how this is going to go. And anyways, when we get down there, and he just like, he pulls up and this guy's like doing this kind of shit. And I'm like, just go. And he fucking goes around them. And yeah, we got lucky after that. I was like, oh man, I get home and I, of course, tell Nathan, like, oh man, we got lucky on that shit.
Well, that's wild. That's crazy. I remember one time we had gone out to some friends at the lake, and they had a boat, and they're
Man, you gotta have some boat friends.
lake people. Well,
Lake
they're always
people.
douchey.
You gotta know some lake people.
They're always douchey though.
I need some. It doesn't matter. You need fucking lake or boat people in your life. Like, I need some fucking bait. I need a boat person or a lake person.
Well, hit
in
them
my
up
life.
on, how can they find you? Facebook?
Sure.
Ladies?
Yeah.
Gentlemen?
Ladies.
He doesn't discriminate. But anyway, so we're out there and I'm, drinking a little bit. And we didn't want to stay the night. I think because there was another couple staying the night that we couldn't tolerate. It was one of those, you got to go home nights.
They weren't swingers.
And Julia's, she's pretty sober person, If she gets through a six-pack in an evening...
I still don't understand.
They're swingers.
Right.
I've tried.
They wanted them to stay, but...
Anyways, God damn it, Stilwell, you talking son of a bitch.
They're over in the corner, just
I know.
this little,
Internet's not picking it up. It's fine.
So, anyway, Julia's like, well, we were driving the Foreigner, which is a stick shift, and she didn't really have any experience driving it. And so I was like, I kind of gave her the basics, and she was like, okay. And so she gets it started, and like from where we were out on the lake to where you get to the first stoplight, like she was just coasting and going, and every stoplight we came to, it was red and then it would turn green right as she got to it. And so we're hitting all these green lights so she doesn't have to stop, and I'm drunk as fuck, sitting in the passenger seat, and there's fireworks going off in the background, and I'm like, oh my god, it was the most surreal. She's she's hoping she doesn't have to stop, and I'm just a loser in the passenger seat looking out the window at these.
God, it needs a song.
This
so needs
cinematic.
a song.
Like, I'll never forget this moment. She got us all the way home without stopping once from the fucking lake and rod. It was wild.
Man.
God,
That's beautiful.
So proud of her.
Back to him being an asshole. Like all fucking circles around. It's okay.
My wife's the best part of me. I'm an alcoholic and she doesn't drink, so it's whatever.
Easy now.
Hey, I only cut that deep.
Fuck you for being on her side.
So let me tell you how fucking men and women just don't mix.
There
I
we
probably
go.
should not be doing this on the pod. But, so
Don't do it then.
No, I'm gonna do it.
It's
doing
too
it.
late.
I can always
Fair
edit
warning.
it.
I said.
Drew's gonna fact check it.
I can always
Roll.
edit this. So I'm talking about guests in the pod, and my wife, who has said before.
Were you trying to get his whole family on
He's
shrooms
trying to get my
earlier?
She's
family.
a saint.
I'm pretty sure you were basically telling his wife and his kid like they need to shroom.
No, that was not me.
No, it wasn't Drew.
No, I was explaining the differences.
Fake news once again.
I was explaining the difference.
The guy with the best abs in the room is spreading false narratives.
Between
Give me one of these.
is
what the third dimension,
Well, I'm
and the
cock
fourth
blocking
dimension
you from
would
the
look
beer,
like to
dude.
someone from
Sorry,
the
man.
Another one I haven't had. any.
So, and he
Get
was
you
the one
some.
that brought up
You need
that
corn
you need
cans?
psychedelic mushrooms to be able to perceive the fourth dimension.
It's
My
so cool.
response was, you don't need mushrooms to perceive a fourth dimensional object. It'll just look like a third dimensional object.
Just get
So I
buried.
thought third dimension was space and fourth dimension was time. Are we just talking like
These are
shape
different- these are
shape
different theories.
dimensions?
Yeah, I'm talking shape dimensions.
Shape dimensions.
Like if there's a fourth dimensional shape, because we are limited to third dimensional senses, it'll look like a three-dimensional object, but it'll act in ways that act counter to how our understanding of the universe works. So like
Well,
if
we
it
can't-
appears from nothing,
we can't because we're
A
three-dimensional beings.
two-dimensional object cannot conceive of a third dimension.
Right.
Right. So we
Well,
can't.
but what's weird though is like a third-dimensional object, us, can perceive partially anyway space and time. Right? Like third-dimensional is space, fourth-dimensional in a different
Well,
in
but
a
that's-
different
that's-
talk
that's
is
in
is
the-
time.
The concept of only being 4 dimensions, right? But they say there's 11 dimensions.
Yeah, you want that ice cube? Yeah, get it, boy. Get it.
11.
some people say that.
Some people say.
But my whole talk about like not just shape dimensionality, but like time is like if somebody was a four dimensional, I can't say it.
No.
Skibbity bibbity.
Skibbity.
A fourth dimensional being. Then if they're fourth dimensional, then they can move
In ways we
in
can't
ways that we
fathom.
can't, and they can see like the
Yeah.
entirety of whatever it is, but in a complete different
Well, isn't
way.
the idea of a tesseract, if you're in so many dimensions at once, you can be at all times in all places at once? Is that
Well,
true?
Yes.
Can you fact check me on that?
I thought so.
Yeah, that's my
I've not seen the movie Interstellar, so I don't
You have
know.
not seen it?
I have not seen
I
Interstellar.
haven't seen those.
Okay. So I don't know about this being in all places and all times. That's some warp 10 bullshit that I don't understand from Voyager.
Time
So-
dilation is super explored in Interstellar, which is like
Yes.
I've heard a lot.
But
of things
gravity
about Interstellar.
affects time is basically the theory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in regards to time,
Good shit, Stilwell.
I worry that time isn't the fourth dimension. That time is a hallucination that we have of the passing effect of entropy on our existence.
It's fucking deep.
That time doesn't
I
actually
need to go get a
exist.
college degree real quick. I'll be right
So-
back.
no,
uh,
that made sense.
No, it does. I'm fucking around.
But so for the fourth dimension, I honestly believe that what UFOs are is a fourth dimensional object that's passing through our area of the third dimension because there's nothing there. All of a sudden, some three-dimensional object appears.
Well, it would be like if a 3-dimension or a 2-dimensional object turned sideways to a 3-dimensional object, they would disappear because you're seeing a flat image turned sideways.
Right.
Right. So if they're in a dimension, and then they,
Like
Yeah,
above
what
what
you're
our
talking
perception is,
about.
Right,
then
right.
they
Or-
would turn in like be in weird ways that
right.
we
So
wouldn't.
think
see.
of it as this way. So one dimension's up and down, and then you add left and right to 2,
Well,
and then
well,
you use
think of
back
it
and
like-
X
forward.
and Y axis.
let's
But now you
for
go
an example,
diagonal.
For example, a piece of paper is a two-dimensional object.
Right.
If a wine glass is going to pass through this two-dimensional object at the beginning, there'll be nothing there. Then all of a sudden there's a big circle, and it gets narrower. Then it gets bigger, and then it disappears because it's falling
That's how it
through-
would look.
Yes.
that's how it would
to
look.
that 2-dimensional plane.
To a two-dimensional perspective. So
Right.
for us in the third dimension, if a fourth dimensional object passes through our area, there'll be nothing there. Then suddenly there will be a three-dimensional something there, and it may change shape. It may move erratically. That movement may not be due to propulsion. It may be that it's a weird-ass four-dimensional shape. So it looks like it's doing this, but in reality, it's a single object that's just passing through that part of 3 dimensions. Then it disappears.
Makes my nipples so hard.
I know you love it.
So that's my.
We're an hour and a half into this bonus pod.
So,
Point one.
point one.
I think
Whatever-
Jason
whatever
Green would
point
hire you to just talk to him, Drew. I
Just
think.
talk to me.
Just
well,
talk to him.
Well, we're talking right now, so.
No.
That basically was a no.
Right.
We're not
I-
going to go
I
back
already
to
have
my
a
place
full-time
later.
job.
I'm deeply wounded.
I might start.
Listen to the cast or fuck you.
Right.
Who told him he could take the fucking hat off? I don't recall that.
I don't
Where
even
did I
know when
lose
he
it?
Took it off.
I don't know, dude, but I'm kind of offended.
You
You're not
lost
wearing
it
my
somewhere.
MAGA hat
I don't know.
anymore.
I'm still in like the weird evangelical like face blur thing or whatever.
The lamp zone.
The lamp zone.
I like that I've been in profile this entire time.
Yeah.
Makes my beard look magnanimous.
Makes your beard look Lincoln-esque.
Yes, that.
So do you normally have it like right there?
Two different.
It's
ones,
usually
but-
facing like
Right here?
in here, yeah. I'd never done this before, and I had this wild hair yesterday. I was like, oh my god, the next episode is 10. And like 6 months ago, I never would even like having a podcast and having multiple episodes.
So you've had 10 episodes over 6 months?
No.
months.
No,
2 months?
it's not even been a month.
Almost, like a month and a half.
At month.
At
So
month.
you've
Like a
had
month
like
and a
twice
half.
a week?
At least.
At least.
Well, I'm doing
He's
2
so
a week,
horny.
but like
You're
this
gonna have
was
to
a-
diversify, or else we're gonna
He's
talk
getting
about the
too
same
horny.
stories over and over again.
We haven't yet. When that happens, I'll deal
To
with it.
his point, he's right.
But you start mixing and matching people, like all three of you guys
Total
on different
different
frequencies.
We got a lot of stories.
I don't know. I feel like I vibe with both these folk.
Yeah, but
We got a lot of stories.
but
though.
you're on multiple frequencies, a human being, I think. But there's times when there's no frequencies met, and it's like I just can't even be around this person, right?
Okay, so speaking of frequencies, do you feel like we're just frequencies? Like, are we just sound?
I don't know that it's
You drinking that Natty Light now, aren't
Hold
you?
on, we're gonna have to go to Drew for this one.
Okay. So
Fact check us.
Vibrational frequencies, I feel like I don't know.
I believe in it. That's why I use the term frequency. Like, there's people I meet that there's nothing that hits at all.
You
It's
can't
like I just
talk
can't. There's nothing
Yeah.
I can say. and-
So everybody is electromagnetic. Like, they put out some kind of field whatsoever.
I agree. I believe
Um,
that. Yeah.
And I know that's apart from what we're talking about, like everybody being sound, basically. But
Or
some people claim
waves.
to be able to read auras. So
I'm one of those people. Not read auras, but like I feel like I see something that's extra.
I feel like you were sexier with the wine glass and the hat, but I'm not getting my way right now.
Point taken.
So
You
in
see my
regards
future,
to,
Jason?
Not your future.
I'm
in,
worried about that.
in
I thought it was
He's
just
asking
banging
about-
him in the back of the
asking
Rav
about whether we're all just frequency, whether we're all just sounds. Two very different questions. All of us, the atoms that make up all of us move at different speeds. Our molecules and everything. Gases have more energy. They move at higher speeds, higher frequencies. Fluids, solids. It's all a matter of the energy in it. And if you convert that energy into frequency, then yes, all of creation could be boiled down to a perception of frequency. Now,
He's getting hard, Drew.
you ask about
I am.
sound.
You gotta just.
Sound is our perception of vibration in the air. If our brains were slightly different, all of the things that we hear would sound completely different. The notes of a guitar would be completely different things. But because we perceive of it in that way, the way that we do, we sound the way we do to each other. We hear the noises that we make. We understand the messages that are implied. Sometimes we can say absolute bullshit, but because we know each other so well, we understand what was meant, even though it has nothing to do with what was actually said. But because of that, that's why music to me is such a... I've never been a big music person, and I'm an odd duck that way.
Surprising. I mean,
Music-
that you don't like music.
I mean, it's not that I don't like music. I'm just completely content to hear silence, or even the small noises of life around me, like the sound of the AC in the background, or Hammett panting in the corner. Those things are sounds enough. I don't get annoyed by an absence of music. But for music to have the effect that it has on a person, the ability to affect your emotions, to affect your state of mind, it's a superpower in my mind.
But, well, can I give you my theory on this?
It's your pod.
I don't think you...
Drunk theory versus sober theory. Here we go.
Well, being the only guy here...
So, I mean, I
who's-
can't, compete with that.
being the only guy here who's worth a shit right now.
What the fuck is
What does
this?
that
guy?
even
What's
mean?
going on?
He's sober, right? Like he's
Oh, you mean he is worth a shit?
yes.
Like
Sure.
the Jasons aren't worth a shit.
Right.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure the
but-
Jason.
Cheers.
Pretty sure the Jason couch is.
I'm saying Drew is
Still on
his-
point
his
for as many beers
sober
we've had.
mind. He is at his optimal.
Well, yeah.
I
Right.
mean, I worked out in the heat earlier today. I wouldn't say I'm at my optimal, but a little bit of heat stroke.
He just keeps saying all this
Really
like thirsty, hot shit. He needs to quit,
The panties are dropping.
right?
Fucking telling you.
I've got a joke to tell. Go on.
Here we
I worked
go.
out all this heat, and he's like,
I'm so distracted by I don't even know what the fuck I was gonna say. So go with your joke.
No, I was commenting about music and about frequencies.
Yes, you were.
And the effect of music on your emotion, on your state of mind.
Right.
Does that relate to what you were going to talk about?
I have no idea, but I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Like when me and him had we talked about music like on the river.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And I don't know. You're probably not much of a floater, like the float the rivers.
Not often.
Yeah, but that's what we talked about. Is
People bringing their boom
when
boxes.
people say floater, I think piece of shit.
well, not a floater like a turkey.
Just kidding.
We were talking about like floating down the river, but we were talking about how like people that put music on when you're floating down the river, like you got to listen to their shit.
Yeah.
And it's just
Same with the beach.
Same at the
Same with the
workplace.
beach.
Well, so my point was
bitch.
that you being the sober guy here, being able to hold your own without the crutch of alcohol, gives credence to the fact that you don't have a lot of demons in your head. So I think a lot of people who drink a lot, I'm not talking about you guys, I'm talking about myself. Like I drink the silence.
I feel personally
voices.
attacked,
Yeah,
right?
me too.
Yeah.
What are y'all
Tactical.
co-signing on over here? I
Yeah,
don't even
we're
know.
personally
Being
attacked
attacked,
over here.
but go ahead, keep talking.
No,
Go ahead.
It's not an attack, but I
You
feel
don't know
like
what's in that goddamn.
Nothing's
Gold
in there right
Peak.
now.
we're not going to talk about that tonight.
Oh, nothing's
There's
in it.
nothing. in
Nothing
there right
at
now.
all.
Fucking drained it good. Didn't it? God damn.
All right, joke time. You guys will appreciate this one. All right.
Only if
So we're going to have to cut this one out?
No, no.
Hell no, it's true.
So there was a joke I told. I asked him to cut out. Then
Why'd you well, so first of all, I don't want to know the joke. Don't ever tell me the joke, but I want to know why you thought that you should cut it out.
because I asked them ahead of time when I told the joke that I didn't want it on the podcast. Then
But
they
why?
heard the joke and they said, "Well, because it is a joke that I think is inappropriate for today's date and time. It's a hot button issue and several."
He said-
So
he's self-censored.
you were
I like
concerned
it.
about censoring and
I like it.
whatever.
And then
what
my
have
buddy
you.
went on the week after and told the same joke.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Here's the joke. So it's a Friday night, and there's a redneck sitting on his front porch with a shotgun across his lap, and he's sitting there waiting for the young men he knows are coming to pick up his daughters. So the first man comes up, meets the man, says, "Hello, sir. I'm here to pick up Betty. We're gonna go get some spaghetti. Could you check and see if she's ready?" Redneck gives him a look over, says, "Betty, young man's here to pick you up." Betty comes on down, meets the man. They go on their way. Redneck continues sitting there on his porch. Second young man comes up, says, "Hello, sir. I'm here to pick up Flo. We're gonna go see a show. Could you see if she's ready to go?" Redneck gives him a look over, says, "Flo, young man here to pick you up." She comes on down. They go on their way. And the redneck waits. Finally, third man comes up. Young man sees the shotgun, says, "Sir, hi, I'm here to pick up Lex." Boom!
That's a gay joke,
A gay joke?
isn't it?
This is sex.
Lex, we're gonna go have sex.
Oh, but it's a guy picking up a guy named
No,
Lex.
daughter. Lex.
Her name is
Who
Lex.
needs another
Yeah,
one?
Lexa.
See,
Alexa.
here's my bias. I thought
Alexandria?
I thought Lex was a dude, and that's why I just
Watch
assumed
out
that he was
for
shooting him.
Keep your eyes on the shit.
Stilwell's over here giving good advice about being wary of both of you.
Where
not
both of us?
Wary Wary, yeah.
Not
Stilwell.
so much true.
Stilwell,
But-
why are you wary?
See, now he's trying to talk me out of it.
Now see what they do, Stilwell?
Yeah,
They try and unsell you on being wary of them.
No, be
Green.
wary.
No. This
I would never steer you wrong.
So
I've had that joke floating in my head ever since you guys were talking about raising a daughter. All right.
The best thing that the devil does is tell the truth.
That just makes me not trust you even more.
Oh, well, I will never tell you anything that I wouldn't tell you otherwise.
if you weren't the devil,
This name wasn't Jason. I'd say shake him.
nah, he's too valuable.
Nah, I'm just playing.
You need to be close to your nemesis in case they go rogue.
Why does he
should be a
keep saying
fucking-
that?
I don't
It's
know.
because it should be an honor.
It should. You know, if I had a foil, I would hope it was someone that was of your caliber.
Thank you. See, that's all I'm saying. If shit goes down, and there's two opposing forces in the world, I would respect you enough to fight you to the death.
He's fighting you.
That's hot.
I know, it's sexy. I feel like
He means like someone's got to lose. Someone's got to carry it on.
Depends on what mood we're in at the day.
This pod has gotten incredibly serious now.
that coming from Drew.
It's like this is like the commitment of enemies. Like
Where are we at? We're at an hour and a half of bonus pod.
How is this? I don't even
I thought we were
understand.
talking about reactions to the pod.
we were, and then I came in here.
Yeah, you're a fucking rabbit hole instigator.
Apparently so.
So what was your impression of the overall dynamic of the pod?
I thought it was good. It was. I mean, at the beginning, it seemed a little awkward. Everyone finding their seat, finding their voice.
Right,
said the
but it was
same thing.
necessary.
What's
So
that?
you're saying don't cut the first 15 minutes?
No, because it progresses. It's beautiful.
Well, everyone here, there were a lot of people who were meeting each other for the first time.
Exactly. From a lot of different backgrounds.
Exactly.
A lot of
And
different.
Oh!
Fucking weird,
Where'd you
bitch.
find it?
we commented over the course of the pod where some people wear different masks in different settings.
Yeah.
They present themselves differently to different people. So a lot of it was us trying to figure out how we're going to present ourselves to each other.
No, it was super fun.
So is this going to become a hobby of you, taking people who've never met each other, putting them into a highly inflammatory situation,
I
and
wouldn't
then,
say this was inflammatory
and
at
then
all.
recording
I would
them?
say this
I
was
put people
mild.
together that I thought would like you. It wasn't a troll.
Okay,
It was
okay.
like,
Is there anyone that you actively excluded?
no, I literally invited everyone. It was short notice. So I was very grateful that I got as many views as I did.
I live pretty close.
You
And
live
Kim's-
close. Stilwell lives
Kim's
close.
really nice too, so
Yeah, you have a good wife. There's a lot of controlling spouses out there that are like, you can't do anything
True.
without my...
I have to be present and watch you silently from the
Or just
corner.
know.
Or just know.
Or just know. Yeah, that's
And
a
like,
sad
let me know
situation.
when the video posts because I'm gonna watch it. Yeah.
Well, let's just all listen to Stilwell piss, see if we can pick it up on the cameras.
It's picking it up.
I love it.
It's soothing.
So soothing.
Have you ever listened to ASMR?
Yeah. But I don't really like the videos where the fucking weird people with the girl with the
The
weird
nails?
nails and they go
The
click click
clicking?
click, like the click click
Oh
click.
god, so soothing.
You like the click click?
I just like the oral stimuli. It helped me get to sleep in a really stressful time. I don't know, it was something that it was like a consistent pattern.
I saw this weird video the other day that was like, I feel like my eldest nephew
We
posted.
literally stopped the podcast to listen
Yeah.
to you piss the entire time.
Oh, that was a good
That was
Chef's
impressive, dude.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like,
But there's a video where this it's talking about the South in general, and it basically says your alarm going off. It's like
Right.
or like there's like three different things. One is like your phone ringing and you don't wake up, or gunshots, And then the last one's like tornado warning. And then the very, very last one when you wake up is your fan going off. I felt personally attacked because I sleep with a fan. Like, if our electricity goes out, the fan goes off, I'm like...
You'll wake up immediately.
I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, did the world end? What's happening?
Right.
We were talking.
I have missed
ASMRs.
Amber alerts and like fucking weather, like text, alarm, phone calls, whatever. I've slept through all of those. The fan turns off though. I'm like,
I'm the same way, but we're so used to discomfort being the thing we fear most. Right? Like,
Yeah.
we're not a generation who works to live like our grandparents were. We worked to buy useless shit on Amazon. So you notice immediate discomfort. What were you saying, Drew?
Oh no, I was telling Eric we were talking about
Trying to catch
ASMR.
me up.
ASMR. So are you a fan of ASMR?
The fuck is ASMR?
It's
There you go.
It's a genre of YouTube videos which are characterized by it's very quiet, specific noise, which are meant to tickle your eardrums.
or they're just very soothing. So it's like almost guided meditation stuff where it's, you're in a field by a pond.
I like that.
It's some sexy chick that you are imagining giant breasts on, and you're.
Hey, speaking of the talkie girls, have you ever like the weather girls or whatever? Like, back in, I want to say like right at the end of World War II, there was radio girls, and they were called the weather girls, and they took the America by storm because they would just read. Like, there was one infamous voice that would read your temperature. It's like Sacramento, 72.
Really?
And
Was that the
like
start of, like,
New
sexualization
Mexico,
in media?
67. Whatever.
Well, if this was at the end of World War II, this was Rosie the Riveter age. The women had joined.
Maybe it was after that. It was after
Vietnam,
World War II,
maybe?
but not before the.
No. Okay. Before
I don't know. But look up.
well, Nicole is one of those DJs.
Look up the
We
Weather
don't have
Girls.
a producer. You want to get back there and fucking
Weather
look it up?
Girls. Who is what?
I said we don't have a producer.
I know.
Are you
Go back
asking me
farther.
to get
What
up?
did you say before that?
Oh, I don't know. That
You
was like a lifetime ago.
No, you said something about like something was something.
What did I say?
This is extremely
I don't know.
vague. I think
Probably
the
just
pod
talking
went very
shit.
well. I think the pod went very well.
Thank you, Drew, for getting back on topic.
I think that it was great having a variety of people together. And sure, it was a little awkward at the beginning.
It was a
because we didn't
huge
know each
fucking
other.
gamble, is what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't
But-
know I was gonna go.
But I mean, it's fine. It's great. I think that maybe every 10 episodes you could have the people who were in those 10 episodes.
Yeah, that's kind of. I'm making all this shit up as I go along,
Well, I mean,
but I
it's-
want to have like certain like things that I do.
Well,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, you're becoming a pod person, so
But
congratulations.
I don't want to base it on like what's gonna be cool or what's gonna get clicks. I want to base it on what's organic
Sure.
and what's fun. So yeah, we had 10 episodes. We got a lot of the guests from the first ones on who had never met each other.
Of course.
That's so cool to me because I never would have done this 6 months ago. You know what I mean? And now I had this awesome experience tonight, and it's on camera. Like, I can go back and watch this. My kids can go back and watch it 20 years from now. Max produced it. That was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He fucking rocked it, even though it was easy. But that was, it was super cool because it was nice to have that. To say, hey, pull this shit up. So one of us didn't have to do it. Like, that's the nice thing having a producer where they can just do that shit.
Keyboard monkey.
But you don't always need it. Like, the
No.
conversation flows pretty well. And I think there never was silence.
So you're 10 episodes in. Has there any, like, ever been a instance where you're like, God, this conversation's going nowhere?
Not yet.
That's good.
Not yet. But I'm also, like I said, I'm pretty selective of who I'm having on. Like, I'm not just... Like, I've got really good friends that I just know would not be able to hang on a pod. And that's fine. But it just... There's not enough depth to the relationship. You know what I mean? But I've also had a lot of
Makes you
people...
feel good? Yeah, it does.
One of the few select.
prick.
Why did you say prick?
Don't look at me like that. I'm gonna get aroused.
It's that goddamn hat.
It's the hat, dude. It's the hat.
It's the hat.
Oh,
He has a little bit more like fuck you in him when he has that hat on.
the things I want to do to
Yeah.
you right now.
Oh.
Man.
What was the question? Oh, a boring pod. No, but like because I've got friends going back to kindergarten, and I was pretty selective of who I want. Like there were a few people I really wanted to talk to, and all you in the room were in that crowd. Like these are the most interesting people I know. Like we hadn't talked in a long time, but we had I had a great relationship growing up. It's like I really wanted to tag on to that. We didn't know if we had chemistry or not, but we obviously did. We fucking hang out for 5 hours in one night after not really hanging for a long time, and that was magical. It was just reconnecting, and you and I haven't hung out enough.
Wow.
And
It's the
it pisses me off. It's like, God damn, there's people I really want to see, and there's people that are in your life that you don't want to see. And it's like, man, I have
Vehemently.
Yeah, vehemently. But I want to have to take back control of that. It's like, God, I want to see my friends, but it's like, how do you see them? Like, do you want to come over and play Mario Kart? Or you got to have an event. Like, let's have a party, and then
I like
you're
this
having
because what other circumstance would I have to talk to Drew
you don't.
or Jason
Yeah,
in general?
Exactly.
Like we have.
never.
I'm not gonna say we don't have anything in common, but I would say a lot of our life experiences
lives
are
are
like
different.
fucking on the opposite
Yeah,
side.
exactly.
But that doesn't mean like me and you talking, we can't have a fucking ball, right?
No, yeah, we're having that now.
I like that, like in general.
No, I think it's beautiful, and I feel like if you can disassociate yourself from an ideology and just say, there's things we disagree about, well, let's just not talk about it. Right? If we know there's something we're never going to agree on, just put it aside, because there's plenty we can, whatever it is. And I think we're so tribal now that it's like, you believe this, so I cannot associate with you at all.
In general, which is a problem.
It's a huge problem. But,
Thanksgiving should not be a source of anxiety for people in their
but
families.
goddamn it is. It's like
Right.
the number one cause. The
Sad.
holidays of anxiety.
Sad.
And
So many people die at Christmas, and you're just like, why? Strokes.
Stress.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. Stress.
Oh, I thought you said strokes. And I was like, yeah, this is amazing.
That can go hand in hand. But
I was like, baller, strokes. I was like, yeah. Lose half of your fucking mobility. It's fine.
I gotta ask this though. So is it October they do breast cancer awareness month on the NFL?
in November.
Is it November?
Yeah.
Like we're aware of it. Like
We're aware of breast cancer.
yeah. Like
I mean, statistically, the people in this group are not going to have it. Like we're
You
not
might.
going to.
You might. You've
Maybe.
got legitimate breasts.
I
now.
give myself exams
That
all the
left
time.
one's looking cancerous.
Yeah, I mean it's the thing.
I just keep imagining squirting milk into my mouth from your breasts. So
That's the most
I-
disturbing thing
I
I've
don't
heard.
want to imagine that. I'm
think
actively
so,
trying
Tim.
not to now.
I don't think so.
How about that Tim Tebow?
God damn it, dude.
That's a big.
I don't have many rules in this building, but please
Fucking
let's
loves
not bring up
Tim
that
Tebow.
name.
My favorite was the Super Bowl commercial. It made me rethink everything I thought in life.
Everything you ever thought. Oh my god. We got some good content tonight. I thought it was great. I thought everybody had a. It'll be fun to rewatch because the first hour was kind of awkward, and it was.
Can you get Nick on here when she's not on fucking allergies or like whatever else excuse that she has?
Well-
Like, come on here as a normal you.
She'll always be high. That is who she
No,
is.
it's fine. I feel like she's subdued comparatively.
Well, she's sick. She's got allergies.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, but I mean, she's been on when she's not had allergies. she's. We'll make it happen again when she's not allergic.
Is that a word?
Fucking George Bush made words up. I can make them up too. It's my podcast.
Oh, she was allergic.
Allergic. As long as you smile after it.
This guy's smile, be cordial.
She was allergic. You know what I mean? You know, allergic.